Good morning, everybody. It's Bob Phibbs, the Retail Doc, and you're joining me for a special group of live videos that I'll be doing for the next 6 days. And why am I doing this? Well, one is to raise your awareness of what keeps people from coming back to brick and mortar retail stores. We're seeing it all over the place. People are saying, "Oh, it looks like people are coming back, but we still have supply chain issues." And yeah, that's certainly there. In fact, one of the videos I'll talk about is what to do about out of stocks and what that feels like. But right now, as I get going, and it takes a while for this to go to all the different places, would you just comment where you are joining me from around the world today? And I will do this every day. I'll try to move the date around the time of day because I know we have people who are watching in Australia and we got people in Europe and, of course, our mainstay here in the United States. I'm broadcasting from New York. So, first thing I'm doing this for is to raise awareness for why people don't come back to stores. That's number one. Number two is to get you to join me for a webinar next Tuesday, April 25th, where I'm going to unpack what keeps customers coming back. So I'm going to do the opposite side of it in this webinar. And why am I doing it there? Because, well, I want it on Zoom so that I can connect and control the environment a little more than I have when I'm doing it on Facebook. And then three is just to remind you that we're about to launch a SalesRx SalesRx sprint starting next Thursday for those who have joined up for SalesRx, my online retail sales training program. Not only we get best in class training, which is personalized and you can have as 24/7 with a complete way of how do you engage strangers, discover the shopper, and make more sales. But there's going to be a very special offer that I'm only going to explain on that webinar that I've never done before about how I can come to your store at no cost. So if you're interested in that, you'll definitely want to check out that webinar. I will have the registration link after this is over because I don't want to get distracted. And hey, we've got Sheila from South Carolina. I've got Muhammad from Pakistan. We got CJ from Uganda. And again, the rest of you just join in. And if you're watching it on the replay, I would look at every comment. So make sure that you comment as well, and there wherever you're joining me from. So here's the background of this story. I was doing custom content for SalesRx, my online retail sales training program. And the manufacturer who was providing this training for hundreds of dealers around the United States and Canada said, is there a way that you could go to one of our dealers and you could maybe do some kind of a makeover for them? Because a lot of things that you're training, maybe we could cut down and we could make into additional videos on how to merchandise the store. And I said, absolutely, I would love that. I love going to stores. So I went to this store. He goes, it's not very far from you. And it was actually about an hour northeast of me into the mountains in New York. And rather than me going through and explaining what it was before and after, I thought, if you're game, for 2 minutes, I'm going to play this video. Now, this video, some of you may have seen on my website. It's under my consulting tab on retaildoc.com. But if you haven't seen it, I think it's got great reminders of what it looked like before and after and why we did it. And then I'm going to be right here the whole time that plays, but then I'm going to tell you those takeaways that are going to be so important for you to get out of it. So I hope that helps. I'm glad you're here this morning, Nancy from North Carolina. Julia, customers not always right, and we have given them bad habits. Oh, I love that, Julia. Tina from Kentucky, and CJ, customers don't buy how much you sell, they buy how you sell. Oh, I love that. So while that's going, I hope that this all works because this platform is new, and I'm going to share this video. And if you can see it, just do me a favor and hear it. Just put a Y in comments so that I know that it's all working. And we're going to take this away. We're going to Eklund's Farm Machinery with Billy Eklund, who kind of narrates this. And again, it's about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to continue. Here we go.
Eklund Farm Machinery started back in 1950 from my grandfather. When people used to walk into our store, they would come directly to the counter because they would need our assistance in finding what they needed. We had rows of parts and shelving. And
this corner is kind of rough.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just came to be too many parts in the place and it looked like a warehouse.
Is this something somebody would come in and say like, wow, I need some oil and I think I'll get a new rim? Is that what they do? What we're trying to do, Billy, is this is like walking up to your house. And what we want to do is have people go, holy crap, they must have everything I need. Let's do it.
Working with Bob has been wonderful. He came up the first time and we went over the plans of what to improve and things to change and drew up a plan.
How do I know I want it if I don't see it? But the goal is that when they come through there's something at each one of these sessions that kind of gets your attention. I think this is where we got to go. This sounds pretty cool. I'm getting excited about it. It's like, yeah, let's do this right now.
Rearranged the front of the shop.
Why don't we just try this? Why don't we just try it? Sweet.
That instantly made a big difference because we sold more product right away. Well, we set up all the new stuff, the new tractors and the trailer with the UTV, lined it up different, and right away people saw it better and sold it immediately.
Sold it immediately?
Immediately.
And didn't somebody say, when did you get those in? You're like, I got 5 of them up there.
Bob pushed us really hard all the time to keep moving forward.
This is the middle of our makeover. We're not done yet, are we?
No,
we're not done yet.
9, 10 o'clock every night. All the guys were staying and doing it and just pushing to get it done.
We could do something with this. We're gonna turn this so that this goes out.
Reorganizing and putting shelving together. And
we could put another row just like that.
Different changes, better changes, and just a whole better atmosphere.
Back it up. Yeah, I think we're good. We're good.
And now that it's done, the customers, they walk in and they think they're in the wrong building. They just enjoy being in here and walk around and check out all the products.
We ended up cutting that counter so that we could go through and get a new flow. It would be like people coming up to Cheers. They'd all come up there and then somebody would have to help them. And now in the new environment, you see people actually walking through the store.
Cutting that in half and half again was the best thing we did.
What's your favorite part of the store now? I have one.
The coffee bar.
Oh, see, I'm the coffee bar too.
Happy hour.
I mean, it is just amazing. And now we've got this fuel up area where they can take their time and they can relax.
I would tell anybody that wants to do one to work with Bob and do it because it's a lot of work, but at the end, you're going to love it.
If you're looking to do a business makeover, well, certainly give me a call because the retail doc. About why you want to work with me. You should want to work with me, but I wanted to show you that video. Did you like that video? Did you see the before? Did you like the before? Anybody? Type in what you noticed in the before. We only had a little bit of it. It's when we were walking around and all the parts in those yellow little bins. And honestly, when I started that renovation, I thought it's kind of like in Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat. It's like, yeah, this is not going to be something we're going to just move a few things around. This is pretty serious. So I just wanted you to take these quick takeaways that, number one, you can become comfortable. Billy had been in that situation for his dad started it. I'm glad you like the video, Manoj. Had started it a while ago, and then Billy grew up in it, and he took it over. Now, that was a farm equipment company. I think they were doing, I don't know, $3 million, and they more than doubled that in a couple of years. Thank you, Tina. I'm glad you like that. But how does it happen? Because you become comfortable with the way we've done it. That's number one. Are you comfortable the way you've done it? I don't know how many jewelry stores. It's like, when's the last time you moved things around? Oh, we don't move things around. It's the way it is. And the reason why that's so bad is because my second point, which is things become invisible. You don't notice it. It's like when Billy was, when we were walking around the corner and he's like, yeah, this corner's pretty rough. Suddenly, because I was there, he realized like, holy crap, there's no organization to this, which is why everybody had to go to that counter, which took up the entire width of the store because nobody could find anything. And even the employees couldn't find it. They had to go and say, well, where is this? So do you know friends that have stores like that? Put a Y in there. Put a Y in your comments right now so that I know you're there. Do you have friends who have stores like that? Just put a Y. That's all I want. So go ahead, put that in. Let me know. Always takes a little bit to get that in, but put that in there and let me know. Do you have a friend like that? Friend who has a store like that? You could say I have a store like that, but I think most of us would be, that's just a little bit more than we may know. Jose, I'm glad you're here, my friend. Sheila, she knows as well, right? And so if you know that you know, people become comfortable and things become invisible, well, that leads us to the third problem, which is hubris. We've always done it. This is the perfect way to merchandise a store. This is the best possible way our store could be. I can tell you it doesn't work like that. In fact, later I'm going to have a story about unorganized stores when I do this in a few days. And I'll tell you a story about a store I took over and the difference it made because they had this hubris that like, oh, I know what I'm doing. They'd never studied merchandising. They'd never asked anybody else's opinion. They just went ahead and said, well, I like to buy stuff on sale. So that's what they did. Again, going back to jewelry stores. Oh, well, we've got this all mapped out. Well, why do you have it all the same? Because here's the problem. When things become invisible and you become comfortable with it, your employees don't look at anything that's been there a while, and that merchandise gets old. And so at the end, what happens is we try to get people excited, like, oh, we've got a sale promotion, but the merchandise can't do that heavy lifting. So, what you want to be thinking out of our time here today, right at 10 minutes, which is exactly where I wanted to be, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable in the way your store is? Well, I hope you watch this video and you go like, holy crap, there's something I could change. Number two, things becoming invisible. Just take a small look around your store. Take a friend with you. Walk around your store and say, point out three things that you think are interesting and see if they match up. And you might be like, oh, yeah, I forgot we had that. If you can answer that, I can guarantee you your crew is going to say the same thing. And then number three is, have you become so wed to your store design that you can't see the forest for the trees? You know, Billy had been able to make that store work for an awful long time, but suddenly when everything is new and bright, we doubled the lights and re-merchandised everything. In fact, threw probably a third of that stuff back behind where people don't need to browse it, but your counter crew does. If we can accept that maybe things can be different, then it opens the whole world. And that's what gets me to what I love doing every day with retailers is hope. That's what drives you forward. In fact, you may have remembered when COVID started, I did a live video every single day for months to try to keep you all energized and to be going forward. Because with hope, we're drawn forward. With fear, we're pulled backwards. And I can't, and you listen to that self-limiting talk, I can't, I won't, I don't have time. All that stuff is you pouring water on the flame, and you have it in here. I just want to awaken it. So that's why I'm doing these. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing one on why your customer service sucks, and that will be a fun story that I'll be sharing that just happened recently about a major purchase and how it went wrong and what you can take away with that. Hey, Manoj, you say that I don't have friends, but most of the business I work with have the same problem. Exactly. Hey, Rachel, I spoke at Mohawk in Florida last December. So hopefully we get more flooring stores out there to do it. And the same thing, I see so many small businesses that have the worst merchandising habits. Yeah, exactly. Now, again, you can certainly read my book, The Retail Doc's Guide to Growing Your Business, although it's almost out of print. It doesn't quite work when you blur the screen, which I talk about that. You can certainly follow me, but Sales RX, we have a whole course on merchandising your store to make that easier for you. But this is just to get you to be thinking about why customers leave. Customers leave, in this case, because stale merchandising is killing your sales. That's what I want to have in your head today. I want you to be thinking about it. I want you to be going, oh, right, that's what's happening. And then take steps for it. And then tomorrow come back, because tomorrow I'm doing this at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm not sure, but watch, I will announce it. Go through and start saying, well, what could I do differently? And if you start doing that, you're going to take some steps to finding that power in you that says, I can be better. And that's all I care about. That's all you care about, right? So thanks for joining me this morning for my first of my Bob's Insider Scoop, 6 real world stories from behind the counter. And don't forget to register for my webinar, which is in a week. And I'll put that in the comments as well. Thanks for joining me. If you want to give me some thumbs up, let me know you're out there. The algorithm would love that. If you want to share it with your friends, hey, I would appreciate that as well. I'm Bob Phibbs, the Retail Doc. Thanks for joining me today.